Hello, beautiful souls. I'm just gonna play around with there we go. I'm gonna play around with the setup for a bit. Happy Wednesday. Happy midweek hump day. I hope that you are doing well. So this is gonna be the first live to kind of kick off my weekly lives. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. This is going to be my first live to kick off my weekly lives because I mentioned that my podcast is now going to be in these live video formats and you'll be able to catch it on YouTube as well. And the beautiful thing about catching it on YouTube is that I will link for you some homework. So there will always be notes to recall what I talked about in these lives, and I've included activities as well. So there will be a link to that over my YouTube, so definitely want to check that out. So today we're talking about trusting our emotions. And before I even dive in, if this is your first time hopping onto my live, tuning in, meeting me, hi. Pleasure to virtually meet you. My name is Jiselle. I'm an emotional resilience coach. And the work that I do is all about teaching adults how to reclaim their power. Because when we are empowered, we can have better quality lives, better quality relationships. Like we can live our next level life when we are empowered versus when we're disempowered. And so by learning emotional resilience, we are able to tap into the power that's already within us. We're able to unlock the wisdom that's already within us. And so that's what I help you do. Okay, so today I'm answering a question that somebody brought to me, which was, how do I trust my emotions, Jiselle? And that is such a good question, because if you're new to my work, if you're new to my page, if you're early on in your healing journey, even some people that have been on the healing journey for quite a while, there is this sense of emotional avoidance. Like there's a lot of discomfort when it comes to our emotions. There's a lot of pushing it away, a lot of distracting, a lot of, just focusing on these different things so that I don't have to focus on how I'm feeling. There's a lot of that, right? And that's completely normal. That's completely normal. Why would you know how to deal with your emotions if you hadn't been taught, if it hadn't been modeled for you? I mean, no one had to sit you down in a classroom and teach you, right? But did you have people in your life that modeled emotional regulation, that modeled healthy relationships with their emotions? And if you didn't, if you saw people distracting and avoiding their emotions, or you saw huge reactive outbursts when people didn't know how to deal with their emotions, then that's kind of what you've learned how to do. So it's completely natural that you don't trust your emotions. I did not trust my emotions for most of my life. Even when I started on my healing journey, I did not realize that the relationship that I needed to heal was with my emotions, aka with myself, right? I thought I had to heal from everything that other people did to me. I had to heal from, all these events that I experienced that were traumatic, and I didn't realize that the real work was healing my relationship to my emotions. So it took a long time for me to understand what that means, how that looks, and how do we actually accomplish that. So that's what I want to dive into today. And it's actually fairly simple. So before I even dive into that, I want to just propose a question to you. How do you know when you need to eat something? Like, how do you know when you need to eat? Or how do you know when you're dehydrated? Or do you know when you're dehydrated? How do you know when you really need to sleep, right? Because these are things, eating, sleeping, being hydrated, drinking water, these are things that we know how to do. And how do we know how to do that? Did somebody tap us on the shoulder and say, hey, it's time to eat? I mean, maybe if you're a great assistant, but no, we know that because we listen to our body, and our bodies send us these cues that we're hungry or that we're tired or that we need to drink some water, right? Our bodies are a tool. Our bodies are a tool, and they're a very useful and very important tool that not only have they kept us alive as long as we are, like however old you are watching this, like your body's been doing a great job, but our bodies process so much, not just our organs processing stuff, not just our blood circulating, like our emotional energy All of that is processed by our bodies, whether we're conscious of it or not, whether we're allowing it or we're blocking it. Like, our body's always trying to heal, always trying to do that work for us. And it's always sending us these cues, like, it's time to eat. Hey, you're hungry. It's time to drink water. You know, excuse me, I have to cough. My body's trying to clear out mucus, right? So our bodies are always working for us, always sending us these cues, and it's no different with our emotions. Our emotions are brought to us through physical discomfort, usually physical cues, and trusting our emotions really, really, really depends on trusting our bodies. And trusting our emotions really, really depends on having a healthy relationship with them, being familiar with them so that we can be safe with them, knowing them intimately and deeply, understanding them intimately and deeply. Like, the same way that the relationship you have with a stranger is not the same as the relationship you have with a friend, a close friend, and the relationship you have with a close friend is not the same relationship you have with a family member. All these relationships are different because of the various levels of intimacy. So in order to trust our emotions, we need to have an intimate relationship with them. We need to be familiar with them. We need to recognize when they're showing up, know them, honor them, trust them, and we do that by trusting our bodies and trusting the cues that are coming from our bodies. And so one thing that I always advise my clients and that I suggest and that I want you to take away from this video is that trusting our emotions starts by trusting our bodies, and we can do that in the simplest way by tuning in on a daily basis to what we're physically experiencing. What is our physical experience? Taking a moment, 5 minutes a day, however long, time in the shower, whenever you're alone, whenever you can get quiet. A really good way to kind of practice sensory deprivation or experience sensory rest is to take your fingers, stick them in your ears, right? So that you tune out the sounds, tune out the external input, and tune into the sounds within your physical body. Like, you can hear your heart beating, you can hear your blood whooshing around in there. Just stick your fingers in your ears for like 5 minutes and experience what's happening in your physical. And when you come out of that, just notice how you feel. Often my clients doing it for the first time are surprised at how calm they feel after, at how like relaxed they feel, how grounded they feel. So a really good way to get grounded is through our physical body. Like I said, our body is a tool. And if we know how to use this tool, we can enhance the quality of our lives. And so before you even work on trusting your emotions, I want you to work on trusting your body, like listening to it. When you feel the urge to have a drink of water, do you get up and have that drink of water? Are you even aware of when that urge comes? Are you even aware when your body's telling you that you're dehydrated? Are you even aware when your body's telling you that you need to eat? Start by getting aware of that, right? Because it looks different for each of us, and no, I cannot experience it for you. You can't experience what's going on in my body. Like, it's so bespoke and personal to each of us, right? How our body communicates with us. So it's important that we make time to cultivate this relationship with our bodies. We make time to cultivate this relationship so that when we are emotionally activated, as I call it in my work, but I know it's more commonly referred to as being triggered, right? When we're triggered, we're emotionally activated. There's something within us that activates our emotions. And in my next live, I'm going to talk about more about that. But when we're emotionally activated or we're triggered, do we panic when we notice that discomfort? Do we immediately reach for something, right? What do we do? Like, slowing down and getting really, really intentional and conscious about, like, really aware of what we do when we have an emotional reaction, when we feel anxiety, when we feel discomfort. What are our soothing actions? Like, what are the things that we do? Because our body is always looking for a way to process that energy. Like, for me, I posted on Twitter earlier this week, like, whenever I'm processing a lot, like there's a lot coming up that needs to be released, like I always get this urge to dance and like move my body. Like, my body just wants to move that energy out, right? It's like, that's so random. I have the urge to dance. Or I'm yawning all the time. Like, yawning is a huge way that our body releases emotional energy. Like, people don't realize humming, yawning, all of this is a physical, like, processing of our emotional energy. Okay, so if you want to dive deeper in this, I've created an activity that's going to be in the podcast notes. So I will link that in the description. And you just download that worksheet. It'll give you like a recap of what we talked about today briefly, and then it will give you activities to do for the week to help you begin to really identify how your emotions speak to you through your physical body. Because that is how we think that it's in our mind, right? A lot of times we say, oh, I feel like this, and that's not a feeling, it's a thought. Okay, so I feel misunderstood. I feel insulted. No, you think you've been insulted, or you think that someone is not understanding you, but what you feel is sadness. What you feel is shame. What you feel is humiliation. Like, so it takes a while to decouple our thoughts and our feelings, but they really are separate. And our thoughts are really like above the neck. Like if you want to look at our body, if you want to break it down into like, you know, a physical or a tangible image, right, of our conscious, subconscious, unconscious mind. Like our conscious mind is like above the neck. It's like our brain, our head. Our subconscious mind is like our heart. It's like our center. It's where we feel. It's where, you know, we're able to experience things like art and music, like things that don't come with words. Like words are up here, like neck up, right? That's where the words come to us. But the feeling, the emotion, that's in our heart, like our subconscious center of our bodies. And then our gut is like our unconscious. Like that's like our deep intuition, where we just feel a nudge or a ping, and there's no explanation, there's no word, it's like, do this, move here, trust this person, don't trust this person. Like that's our gut, that's our like sacral area, right? So if you want to like divide it in that way, if it helps you picture it like that. So excuse me, let your body speak to you. Get into your heart center. Spend time listening to your heart beat. Spend time feeling your body, like feeling the energy move through your body. Another great practice is to put your hands on your rib cage on either side, crossed across your body, and feel the sensations that are in your hands. You'll feel the energy from your heart beating. You'll feel the vibrations, right? When we spend time getting to know our physicality, right, our anatomy, we improve the quality of our lives because we know how to take care of ourselves. We understand how to take care of ourselves. When we don't do that, we panic, we freak out, we run, we look for something external. But our emotions are coming from within us, right? And they're coming up for a very important reason. They're bringing us information about where we need to step into alignment, where we're out of alignment, where we need to have our needs met, where we need to release certain stories that no longer serve us, right? So it's really, really important that we can trust them. We don't have to start out trusting them, right? But if you want to learn how to trust them, if you want to trust them, if you want a stronger relationship with them, that's what I help my clients do, is I help them develop a stronger relationship with their emotions, so that when their emotions arise, they're like, okay, this doesn't feel good. This is uncomfortable, this physical feeling, but I know it. I honor it. I see it. It's okay that it's here because I know that it's here for my highest good. And I know that by tapping into it, I'm going to tap into my infinite wisdom. I'm going to tap into my power, and I'm going to become stronger as a person. When I run from it, when I suppress it, when I deny it, excuse me, that is when I struggle. That is when I suffer. That is when life feels so hard, right? But if we want to live our next level lives, which is possible for all of us, then it does require that tapping in. It does require that connection to our physicality. Okay, so I hope that this was clear. If it wasn't, send me a message. We can chat in my DMs if you have any questions about anything that I've shared today, or you want to know anything more about the techniques, or try them first. I suggest trying them and seeing how you feel, seeing how they work for you. And again, if you want to do more deep dive, gain more awareness, I have a worksheet, podcast notes with an activity for you to take away to help you start to trust your emotions more and build that intimate relationship with them. Okay, So I'm sending you so much love. I hope that this was helpful to you in some way. If it was, please share it. Please, let other people know if you think that this could benefit them. And yeah, have a good day.